right. We finally caught up with him. He is the man with the world's worst mobile reception at his house, but at his shop down at Aberdeen there, he has got it going on. He's got all the lures. You can get your dog neutered, I think. You know, you can get everything going on. Nick Price, welcome to the show on ABT Lockdown Live, mate.
Thanks, Steve.
And it's good to hear that a week ago, Glenbawn Dam just sneakily opened up so that people could come in for day trips, couldn't they?
Yeah, completely unexpected. We've sort of basically been shut for the last 6 weeks. And we got a message from the manager at Glenbawn saying they were going to open, and we got excited and opened the doors. And actually, I didn't open the doors. I went fishing for 3 days.
Oh, well, fair call. At least it's good to see you got your priorities right, mate. The first question I've got, of course, is after a bit of a closure like that, how does the lake fish? Obviously, the fish have had a bit of a rest.
Well, it's fishing really well, and it's fishing well with plastics, your 2 and 3 inch Ketex.
Yep.
And your jerk baits close to the edge.
Yep.
But it always fishes well this time of year, I reckon, and into winter. This is my favourite time to fish Glenbawn, and a lot of the time there's hardly any other boats on the water.
Well, mate, normally, right now, we would be having, or have just done the briefing for the Glenbawn tournament there. The Ketek event down there at Glenbawn, mate, would have been a cracker this year. I reckon there would have been, without COVID, there would have been 70 boats fishing this event this weekend.
Oh, look, and the bags would have been great too. Like, everyone would have caught fish. It's fishing really, really well.
That's awesome, mate. So, and just give us a refresher, because I'm a Queenslander. I'm not in tune with Glenbawn's ebbs and flows, mate. What would the guys be in there in the shop stocking up on for this tournament coming up right now?
So Glenbawn's still at 40%, and it's been at 40% for a good while now.
Yep.
There's a little bit of water going into Glenbawn, but not enough to affect it that much. And up the back of the dam, it's fairly dirty.
Yep.
So sort of from Big House Bay back into the main basin, it's fishing well with 2 inch Ketex, 1/6, 1/4 jig heads, and your double clutches.
Yep.
Tight to the edge.
Yep.
With a long pause on your double clutches.
So I know a lot of bass fishermen, you don't get that jerkbait bite all year. And in fact, we've worked out over the years, it tends to be a colder water, clear water thing. So you're ripping those double clutches down and just waiting, and it's happening, eh?
And it's just great. They're just hitting hard. And can I tell you, the bass are cranky. I'm not sure if it is the time off they've had, but they are cranky. They are going hard. I took a local Aberdeen fella out, and he caught a bass, and it wasn't a big bass.
Yep.
And he ran him round the boat. It was like watching Carl on the States. Like, it was running him around the boat.
Except it was this big.
Yeah, except it wasn't very big.
That's awesome, mate. Now, look, the news down your way is that come another couple of weeks, you're going to be able to pack up the family. If you're a New South Wales person, or in fact, even if you're from out of state and you want to come in, you can come in, go to Glenbawn, go there for a weekend, stock up at your shop, and do it all like you used to do. It's just that some states you might have to wait a couple of weeks in isolation when you get home. That's all.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it. 1st of June, New South Wales is opening it up. So people from down south and up north can come, fish Glenbawn, stay the weekend. And honestly, the winter fishing is my favourite fishing at Glenbawn, and people just don't do it.
Yep. Mate, and look, I assume that post-COVID there are going to be, hundreds of people in Sydney that are just itching to come up from a fish to Glenbawn. At this time of the year, do you find that fishermen are like the only people that come up? Like, there is plenty of campground there to socially distance yourself and to have your own little family group and do it 100% safely, isn't it?
Yeah, there is. There's plenty of room. The management at Glenbawn are really good and are really trying hard to look after fishermen. They're going to be opening the kiosk more and more.
Yep.
They're sort of moving reception, so the kiosk will be open during the day, and
That's awesome, mate. It's I tell you what, it's one of Australia's, if not Australia's, premier bass fishery, mate. And we are spewing that we are not going to be down there this weekend to get it done. But rest assured, we're going to be back down there as soon as we can to either make that event up or as part of a new series. A lot of people asking us at the moment, what are you going to be doing? It's like, you know what? As soon as the borders open, we're going to resume our calendar, and then if we have to do some makeup events, we're going to do some makeup events. But in lieu of that, you've got some exciting news about what's happening maybe early next year, Nick. Tell us the big scoop about what's going to be going on.
Well, we love Glenbawn, and one of the things we love about Glenbawn is that the bite changes throughout the year. So in February, you've got that deep bite. Sort of in winter, you've got that plastics jerkbait bite.
Yep.
In September, you've got the jig bite. And then in November, you've got that reaction bite. So next year, we are going to be running a teams competition out at Glenbawn.
Yep.
A 4-round teams competition.
Yep.
With a round at each bite, and have a prize for the overall champion.
That's awesome, mate. And that's something that if you, like, say, live in Sydney and you want to come up a few times a year and fish it, everyone's welcome?
Everyone's welcome. We're going to have a pre-fish ban from the Monday to the Friday, so you can't fish the Friday.
Yep.
And then a Saturday, Sunday session where you finish at lunchtime Sunday.
Yeah, and everyone gets stuck into it, mate. And we all know how good the fishery can be at that time. And it's great to see that you're taking the bull by the horns, mate. And this is the shop organising this, isn't it?
So this will be the shop organising this with the help of ABT.
Yep.
Running it through the shop, sort of having proper prize money, proper teams event, and try and crown a Glenbawn champion that can fish all different types of bites.
That's right. And to win, of course, an overall trophy, you're going to have to be master at most of those techniques and maybe scoot you through your way through some of them that you're not that good at. But being that all-round angler is what it's all about, mate. And we know a bass angler needs all of those techniques in the box. If all you do is throw 2-inch plastics, you're not going to win that title all year long, are you?
No, that's right. That's right. It's really going to sort out people that are good at one technique or have a favourite technique. They're going to have to get their game and practice them more.
Now, one of the things I loved watching recently was the highlights of the event at St Clair and how focused a lot of those fish were on topwater baits. How long into the season do the fish still bite on topwater? Are they still going now, or is it getting to be cool for them?
Can I tell you, we've come back and people are still catching them on topwater.
Yep.
So, they're still going. They're still going on topwater. The fish, some of the bigger fish are really tight to the edge.
Yep.
So they're still hitting topwater tight to the edge or under a shag tree.
It's really interesting. I always thought a bass's most comfortable temperature is somewhere in the teens, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. They don't really like that 25 to 30 degree water that we like. They tend to like it a lot colder, I think. And I think I've always had my best bass sessions have always been when that water's cooler, mate. So I think it's coming right into the zone there at the moment, mate. Anyone who hasn't been to your store, anyone's thinking of going to Glenbawn and are crazy enough not to have dropped into your store, because what's on the wall behind you there is only about 5% of all the cool stuff that you got in your store, mate. Just give us a quick rundown of exactly where you are and how awesome the boat parking is there.
We cater for all the different techniques. Glenbawn has lots, you use different techniques at different times of the year. So we have plastics and jerk baits for winter, and we have your deep bite baits. We have all your different braids. We have your reels. But we also cater for people that want to experiment. So we have all your gear you need for drop shot. We have tungsten nail weights if you want to stick one in a tube and throw it into a brush pile and let it shoot down into the brush pile away from you. We have all the quirky stuff that people can come and have a look on the shelf rather than just see on a computer screen. Check it out, buy it, take it out, muck around with it, and try it. And one of the reasons that we sponsor ABT and love ABT and love the tournaments because the blokes who fish the tournaments and win the tournaments, I find since I've had the shop, they do try all these different things.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, mate. Look, I know that your shop is about, I might have it wrong, it's only 100 or 2 metres from the turn off to Glenbawn, isn't it? So, like, if you're dead set, if you miss it, you need to give yourself a slap in the face and turn around because your eyes have been painted shut, I think.
Yeah, that's right. We're right near the turn off to Glenbawn, boat on the roof, next to the hotel. So it's a perfect spot to stop.
That's it. And you can pull your whole boat, car, everything all rigged up straight out the front door, basically, and away you go, mate. So all of you guys out there, you've got no excuses not to drop in and see Nick. He's an absolute champion of a guy. He's getting involved in the running of the tournament. He's a sponsor of the tournaments you love most. So, Nick, thanks for joining us on the show tonight, mate. And we're really looking forward to what you've got all set up for everyone in 2021, if not earlier.
No, thanks very much, Steve. And thanks for your support of the industry.